Barrier and lifestyle methods of contraception. Barrier methods of birth control prevent the meeting of sperm and egg by blocking the path of the sperm. They must be used every time to be highly effective. These methods can be used by both females and males. Condoms are 85% effective for preventing pregnancy with typical use. Condoms are 99% effective at preventing HIV infection if they are used correctly every time. Because some people do not use them correctly every time, the actual effectiveness is closer to 90% if one partner is HIV positive. Sheaths, or internal condoms, are 79% effective at preventing pregnancy if inserted into the vagina before intercourse. Sheaths may also be used by people of both sexes to prevent HIV transmission. Spermicidal foams and gels are 82% effective if used every time. However, their efficacy drops to 72% with typical, imperfect use. Spermicides are best when used with another method, such as condoms or withdrawal. The foam or gel keeps you safe from pregnancy by blocking the path of the sperm through the cervix and by chemically damaging the sperm. They do not protect you from STIs. Diaphragms, cervical caps, and sponges are all barriers worn inside the vagina that block the path of sperm and hold spermicide near the cervix. They must be used every time with a spermicide to be effective. These internal barrier methods are 71 to 88% effective, depending on how carefully they are used. They do not protect you from STIs. Diaphragms and cervical caps are made out of latex, have rings that hold them in place over the cervix, and come in different sizes. They must be obtained from a healthcare provider and must fit your body. Sponges come in only one size, are good at holding spermicide near the cervix, and may be available at pharmacies in some cities. Abstinence means avoiding any sexual activity that could lead to pregnancy or infection. Abstinence may mean different things to different people. Some people may be abstinent by avoiding all sexual activity, while others may be sexually active but abstain from genital contact that could lead to pregnancy. Delaying sex or being abstinent before adulthood is a healthy choice for most. Breastfeeding prevents the return of a woman's monthly hormonal cycles and provides natural immunity from pathogens for the breastfeeding child. Breastfeeding is 99% effective if the baby is breastfed exclusively with no bottle feeding. Withdrawal means pulling the penis out of the vagina before the emission of semen. If a couple has regular intercourse and uses withdrawal every time as their method of birth control for 1 year, 22% of them will become pregnant by the end of the year. Therefore, this method is 78% effective. Sterilization is 99% effective. Sterilization is permanent and only for adults who no longer want to have children. Sterilization involves medical procedures, a tubal ligation for women and vasectomy for men. These medical procedures result in blocking the routes for gametes. In women, the fallopian tubes are closed. In men, the ductus deferens is snipped. Fertility awareness, or being aware of her hormonal cycles, her time of ovulation, and when her period will arrive, can be part of a woman's lifestyle for pregnancy prevention. If using this method, abstaining from vaginal intercourse, or being extra careful with contraception when a woman is most fertile, decreases the risk of pregnancy. Having vaginal intercourse when she is most fertile increases the likelihood of becoming pregnant. Being aware of their body's cycles and using other contraceptives at times can help women control when they have a baby. If a woman wants to use the calendar method to help with birth control, she has to know many facts about fertility, keep close track of her cycles by monitoring her periods, and have regular cycles, meaning she gets her period after about the same number of days every month. The facts to know include: females ovulate 14 days before their periods begin, not necessarily 14 days after their periods start. An egg can be fertilized for about 24 hours following ovulation. Sperm can live up to 5 days in a woman's reproductive tract. We say that day 1 of a woman's cycle is the first day of her period, and a woman's cycle can vary in length for many reasons, including stress. Keep track of your periods carefully for 6 to 8 months, marking the first day of your period on a calendar every month. That is day 1 of each cycle. Count the number of days in each cycle and determine the longest and shortest cycles. Subtract 18 days from your shortest cycle. Subtract 11 days from your longest cycle. The days left in between are your most fertile days. Every month going forward, you would avoid penis-vagina contact during your fertile days. Many women, and especially younger women, tend to have cycles that vary in length. If your cycle varies by more than 4 days from month to month, or if you have a cycle that is shorter than 27 days, using the calendar method will not help you very much. This method is typically helpful for mature women and can help women who are trying to become pregnant too. You should always use condoms to prevent STIs as well whenever there is a risk. Women whose bodies have settled into very predictable cycles and who keep track of their cycles closely are able to use the calendar to understand when they are most fertile. Women who do not have regular cycles will have difficulty predicting when they're fertile. Women should only use this method if they are good at keeping records of their cycles. Cell phone applications may help. Different types of stress can change the length of a woman's cycle. The condom and the internal condom are most effective at preventing infections with HIV, chlamydia, and gonorrhea. Even if you're a woman using another method of birth control, it is a good idea to use a condom or a sheath to prevent infection. Getting tested for HIV on a regular basis and asking your partner to get tested before you have unprotected sex is the only way a couple can be sure that they are not at risk for an HIV infection. Remember that even if you are having safe sex, if anyone in your sexual network is HIV positive, you are at risk. Being faithful to one partner is a safe choice. Remember that people who look healthy can still infect others because people don't get symptoms from HIV for a long time after they are infected. Limiting the number of your partners, getting tested, and using condoms every time reduces your risk and your community's risk. Notice that most methods of birth control involve the woman's body. Methods that can be controlled by men and protect men are condoms, abstinence, withdrawal, and sterilization, or vasectomy. Men can use condoms and internal condoms to avoid infection with STIs. Scientists are currently investigating methods of male hormonal birth control. If effective, these methods will not be available for many years. One study conducted in northern rural Malawi showed that women who used birth control were using the following methods in 2018. 79% were using birth control shot, 13.4% were using the birth control pill, 5.6% used the birth control implant, 1.7% got a tubal ligation, and 0.3% used an IUD. Condoms are also commonly used in Malawi, along with other methods of birth control. It is important to use condoms to prevent the spread of STIs, such as HIV, chlamydia, HPV, and gonorrhea. They work well when they're used every time. While modern birth control methods are available in Malawi, the birth rate has not fallen as much as was expected, according to a study completed in 2015. As seen on the next slide, this study can help us understand how to make these modern methods work better for women in Malawi. Birth control shot users. The shot must be repeated every month for this method to work. Birth control pill users. It's important to start a new pack of pills every 29 days if pills are to be effective. Young women. It's important to have no time gaps between stopping one method and starting another. Younger women are more likely to switch methods than married women. It's also important to delay sexual activity until a young woman can reliably acquire and regularly use her birth control. How can reliable use of birth control increase in Malawi? have more supplies available for healthcare providers so they don't run out, have providers of birth control stay open for more hours, ensure confidentiality and privacy of women going to providers, increase counseling services at providers, increase use of long-term methods, the implant and IUD, so that repeat visits are not necessary.